So yesterday I told you guys I'm moving and that I'm going to go look at some places to figure out if there's a good fit for us. It was interesting. I really appreciate everyone who took an interest and actually commented, and I know it's not the most interesting video and I really appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. Real stans. It was really interesting. I feel like it really became evident that sometimes pictures lie. Sometimes things look really pretty on pictures and then you get there and it's like, oh, that's some funky ass wallpaper. There was one house in particular, and I don't know what the person who did this was thinking, but it was put up in the 70s and maybe they were on an acid trip because the wallpaper in the kitchen was made out of felt, like cloth, like woolly cloth on the kitchen wall. You can imagine the horrendous food oil cooking stains on that wallpaper. It was like from some sort of horror movie. Like when you watch a horror movie and it's like, oh, I think they're overdoing this. No wallpaper would look like this ever. This is just like, they're overdoing it. Unrealistic. No. In the same house, there was this very questionable carpet flooring, which looked like it was probably from the 70s too. And your girl is a germaphobe, and I was just like, I don't really want to put my bare feet on that. Like, is it possible to like remove it? It was semi-horrifying. It was a really cute house though, but it was really old, and apparently the guy was just like, y'all can do whatever you want in here. You can fucking trash the place because I'm planning on pulling the whole house down in a year. And I was just like, oh, okay. It doesn't seem as appealing to like put in a lot of back-breaking work and like improving shit if you know it's gonna be like demolished in a year. Also, it's not very appealing to have to move again that fast. Like when we move, I really want to like stay there for a while. I'm not a fan of putting everything in boxes over and over and over again. It's also like a mental thing for me. Like I get really attached to the places where I live. I literally cried in the car, you guys. I cried in the car and I was like, oh, I'm attached to my house. I don't want to move. I like our garden better. I was just a hot mess. Oh my god, there's the neighbor again. The neighbor with the lawnmower. I swear, like, who mows their lawn every day? This is like some Dexter-esque shit. It's getting a little concerning. But yeah, we've come to the conclusion that we might have to save up a bit first. Things are expensive and you have to have a deposit and everything. And also, I was just like freaking out in the car. I don't feel ready. I don't know. It's just all so sudden. I don't know. It's just, shooketh. I had a very interesting conversation though, because we made an ad on like our local Craigslist-ish sort of website like that we have in Norway. And we were like, oh, this is us. Like this is the stuff we look for. We need an apartment or like a place to live. Like we need like a garden to have like to walk the cats in, to have the enclosure. So we need like our little patch of garden outside of our place. And other than that, we need to like have like close proximity to the bus so that my boyfriend can take the bus to work because we don't have a car. We ain't fancy like that. And also close proximity to grocery stores because we would be walking everywhere or biking. Bicycle. Not like a motorbike, no. We're not in a bike gang, no. That would be cool though. But we're not. No, we're not that cool, no. And this lady, she contacts me and she's just like, oh my god, I have just the thing for you. And I'm like, oh. And she was like, can you list it again, the things you're looking for? And I listed it again. I listed that we needed our own patch of grass, like we needed our own access to our own garden so we can put up an enclosure because that's what we have in the garden, and also that we could walk the cats in, and we need like close proximity to this and that. And she's like, perfect, I have just the thing for you. All of that checks out. That's exactly what I have. You should check out this apartment or like this, apartment. And she sends me pictures and I'm like, wait. This is like an apartment in a block, and the only grass is like public area. That's like the opposite of what we need. I was very confused, and I'm like, maybe it's like the ground floor apartments, but those look like they're not like attached to like going outside. On the outside, it just looks like the porch is just closed off too. It's so confusing. And she keeps sending me pictures, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely what's happening. Like this isn't what we need. And also like it looks like the apartment is like not on the ground floor either. So I'm like, oh, is this on the first floor? And she's like, no, on the third floor. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like we need to have a garden to put up the enclosure and stuff. Ooh, that must have pissed her off because she sent me a message that was very condescending. She was just like, well, if you need your own garden patch, like if that's like that big of a deal, like the public area, like people hardly ever use it, which I find very hard to believe because it was like full of like jungle gyms for kids and shit. And I'm like, there's definitely some kids that are having the time of their lives right there. And she's like, well, if you're gonna be picky about it, is basically what she was like saying to me. And I'm like, rude? What the hell? So yeah, you get a interesting bunch of people. I'm glad we never ended up renting from her, because, you know, if this is what she's like when someone tells her no over text message very politely, yeah, you better believe she's probably a nightmare to have as a landlord. Most of the people were nice though, although we did go to a house in the middle of the forest. The lady was awesome, but it was like in the middle of the sticks. And we hadn't quite understood that when we looked at the ad. And I was just like, oh, there's no way we would be able to live here. We don't have a car. Like, it would literally be like some sort of survival, extreme living sort of situation. And no. Although it was an adorable house, but it was more like a cabin. I just hope that we find the place that's good for us. Like, I'm really stressed about it. I'm really stressed about making choices, and yeah. Hardcore adulting. I feel like I've been able to do it on easy mode because I've been a tenant in my mom's house. It's stressful to have to think about moving 2 hours away. It's actually not about the landlord thing now that I think about it. It's more about having to pack up everything and move 2 hours away. Yesterday I was just shot out. We went to like 5 places or 6, 5, a lot of places, and I was just like deceased by the time we were finished, which might explain why I cried in the car. I don't know. Also, being the introvert I am, I was just like, there's too many people outside. Too many people here. There's way more people in that town than, well, city, than my tiny towns. I would definitely be sporting a t-shirt that says, ew, it's too people-y outside at all times. That's why I want to find like a place that's not crazy up in everybody. Know what I mean? Yeah. Because I want to be able to walk my cats and be in peace and not have like a billion small children hanging off of the entry to our place and be like, hello, can I pet your cats? Which definitely might be a thing, and I'm not excited about that. Like, I don't think they mean any harm, but I don't like people that I don't know. It makes me anxious. I only like that in pre-scheduled doses. I don't like it when they come up to me without any pre-scheduling. I like being by my lonesome without being interrupted, and children often don't have those boundaries set in place. It makes me stressed. And also, cats are adorable. I get why they want to pet them, but my cats would be hella stressed. So, yeah. I asked you guys for advice, like what should I do and not do now that I'm moving, and people were so nice. Y'all were so nice. Thank you for watching and commenting. You're awesome. Jen on Wheels says, my advice for moving out of home for the first time is to spend the time gathering all you need for your kitchen. All the little things like salt, pepper, herbs, spices, the kind of stuff you will never have to buy all at once again. The other is not to forget about the things that your parents probably pay now. I'm sure you have thought about electricity and gas, but don't forget about water and any government taxes. These are things that I learned moving out of my family home in the UK back in the 1998. I don't have to worry about gas, actually. We don't really have much gas in Norway. That sounds like a very bad fart joke. But like most people have electricity-based appliances. It used to be like some places had gas, but most of Norway like don't have that anymore because we're trying to like not have it because natural disasters might blow up shit. I don't know. But yeah, so we're not doing the gas thing. But yeah, all the other stuff for sure. It's so confusing, like when you look at apartments and it said including this, and it's like, is it including the government taxes though? Because in Norway, when you're renting, it's supposed to be included. Like, it's shady AF and hella illegal basically to like start demanding that your tenant pay like government taxes when they're a tenant because it's supposed to be included in the rent. So you're left wondering, I wonder if like they're just on the up and up and they didn't includes government taxes because they know that shit is supposed to be included. Or are they the shady ones who will be like, see, I didn't say it was included, pay up now. Roberta King says, don't forget to have toilet paper handy for your new place. Also, paper plates and plastic silverware makes it less stressful for the first few days of unpacking. We've already planned to go like bulk buy toilet paper at our like local version of Costco. So one room would just be full of toilet paper. So I'm a germaphobe, and damn, I use way too much toilet paper because I become convinced that it's not clean enough. So yeah, unfortunately, due to OCD thoughts, I'm fully aware of the toilet paper. But yeah, it's great advice. Daphne Austin says, if you want, I can help you with merch designs. I can do both digital and hand-drawn. I understand if the answer is no. Oh, that's because I mentioned that someone contacted me on Instagram and was asking me about where my merch went, because someone, me, was convinced that no one would be interested in my merch, so I sort of took it down and replaced it with like some generic designs. Don't worry though, I fixed it this morning. I would be really interested to see your drawing though. I'd be up for collabing with people, especially when they're viewers, because then it's like by the people, for the people. So that would be awesome. Jerry Twerky says, I hope you're settling in well, good luck. Well, I haven't moved yet, so, but I hope I will too. There's nothing more shitty than when you move and then it's like, oh, I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. So yeah, I hope that we find the best place and that we'll settle in very well and that we won't have to move anyway near soon, no. Cammy says, aw, congrats for the two of you. I'll be sending good vibes for the home hunt. Aw. Did you send the wallpaper? Because that was too good of a vibe. That was so good of a vibe, it was high up in the 70s. But thank you guys. Jess M says, yay, congrats. Advice, unpack it all as soon as possible. If not, you'll always have that one box in the corner. Cue dramatic, ominous music, the one box in the corner, staring into your very soul. Yes, I've moved around enough to know that this is true. It's one of those horror stories that are true, you guys. Lady Dragon Poet says, happy house huntings, be safe. We did, hopefully. Masks, sanitizing ourselves so hardcore, I'm pretty sure we don't have any skin cells left. It was slightly mega horrifying when we drove past a COVID-19 testing tent, though, for people who have symptoms. That was scary. Another thing that scares the hell out of me is the fact that this new town, because it has more people, it has a higher percentage of cases. Where I live right now, it's literally like 0 and 1 in a few blue moons. So that's scary. Sid the Jerk, not safe for work. That's a funny rhyme. Says, you should do a trip video maybe, or do something in the new area. We would love to share in your trip and adventure. Yes, that sounds like a wonderful idea. And with the 2 hours that's required every time to drive back and forth with stuff, I'm sure I'll have plenty of footage. I always think to myself, oh, it's so boring. But then I'm like, people who don't live in Norway might find it interesting. I'm just like, oh, it's just trees and trees and mountains and trees and trees and trees. There's a cow. That's exciting. Trees, trees, trees. Brenda McDonald says, I'm alone. Aw, you're not alone. You have us. You have me sending hugs. Paulina says, catnaps are the best naps. Excellent. Someone has been reading my descriptions. So yeah, that's it for this time. I hope you had a fun time talking about absolutely nothing. I'm sorry it's not more interesting. Next time we will for sure be talking about some juicy ass stuff. I pinky promise. And tomorrow there's a Reddit reading. Yay! As I said, I just posted my new merch. Please check it out. Maybe you'll like some of it. I decided to go for versatile designs. Some of them say Bob, and then on the back it says, I'm in the know. And then some of them says, you do you, boo. Which is fun, full of glitter and shit. Stay safe, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by and listening to my nonsense. Okay, see you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.